All right, let's talk about spreadsheet layout. And one reason it's important to talk about this is because this is not something that you can get by looking at a help menu. In Excel, you can go in the help menu and get an idea of what ceiling is supposed to do. You can find a tutorial on Solver or how to create a calculated field in a pivot table. But as I go on and meet with clients and students and talk with people about spreadsheets and some of the battles that they have, and some of these vendors who insist that they've got the spreadsheet killer and point out all the evils in spreadsheet. No, they're evil. They're the evil ones. Don't pay attention to those people. But what's really afoot is poor spreadsheet layout. And when I wrote Guerrilla Data Analysis, I put that section in because it's one of those things that I feel like hurts people who are managing data and doing it in Excel. So yes, there's a pivot table chapter, but I added a chapter on layout and building integrated spreadsheets. What is spreadsheet layout? What trips a lot of spreadsheet developers up is thinking about the output. You want to know how much money was raised for your fundraiser and the sources of it. You want to know who is coming to an event and has purchased a ticket, not just RSVP'd, versus the entire pool of people who were invited. You want to know about monthly inventory so that you can order stuff on time. So those are very specific outputs. But what happens is over time, those very narrow views don't work anymore. Maybe you're the nonprofit that wants to look at multiple events and not just one event. But now you have this list of who has RSVP'd and bought a ticket. And now it's hard to sweep together the information to get an idea of who's come to all of the events. When you have monthly tabs, great, you get a monthly view. But what happens if you want to compare region data, item data, product line data, refund information? Well, then you start a whole different spreadsheet, a whole different entire workbook that deals with just that. And so now you're developing what I call an octopus spreadsheet. All these tentacles squirming everywhere, and eventually a business gets to where it does not work like that anymore. They can't continue anymore because things have gotten so big, so complicated. The octopus has taken over. Here's one suggestion I have. When you look at my how-to tutorials and tutorials of other Excel developers, look at where we put things. Look at how instead of making a bunch of tabs, we'll put things all in one section so that then we can use formulas to pull out what we need. Because it's easy if you need a monthly view and you have all of the data all in one place. Okay, now you have your monthly view. Oh, we want a by product line, by region view. Okay, that could be as simple as a pivot table, or it could be just formulas pulling that data out. But if it's all in different places, oh, now you're fighting the octopus. You don't want to do that. Another thing about layout, if you have to write complex formulas, It's okay to use what's called helper columns. An example could be commissions. So you get paid two different commission rates on two different product lines. Well, you could blend all of that into one big formula, or you could split it out into two formulas. If you have to combine items, total items by the warehouse, it's okay to split them up and then have a final total. And there's three things to consider here. When you're looking at building a formula, one, it can be complicated to build a massive formula. You can build it in pieces and then do the final math later. Two, troubleshooting. If something goes wrong with a formula, how easy is it to figure out where it went wrong? If you have the formula broken down into 3, 4, 5, 6 steps, okay, you have an easier time of sensing where something is wrong. 3, modifying a formula. If you have to add to a formula, it's harder to do if it's just one big formula. But if it's broken up into pieces, then you can maybe just add another column and have that new piece as its own element within the larger mosaic. Reminder, when you look at Excel tutorials, keep an eye out for how we are laying these things out, where we're putting things. I have a page on my website where I have links to a lot of tools that I've built. And you can look at those. A lot of those you can download them, look at the formulas. But in this instance, look at where I've put things to give you an idea, and think about how, okay, so if all of this data is all in one place, it could have easily been a whole bunch of tabs or different workbooks. But by it being contained and integrated, it winds up being a lot cleaner. So check that out. And let's continue to think about spreadsheet layout as a concept unto itself. All right? Keep your data clean. There are a lot of Excel bloggers, and these people can help you with spreadsheet layout if you watch what they do. They go beyond the isolated tips and tricks. So there are Debra Dalgleish, Mynda Treacy, Chris Macro, and especially Kevin Lehrbass. Kevin really takes you through the thinking and everything. And when you watch all of these people, and Mike Girvin, they all do really great work. And if you watch how they lay things out, that'll be really helpful. So keep that data clean.